What is up? You guys like that? You guys like the music the team set up? What's up, Beau?
What's up, man?
Well, dude, I appreciate you hopping on. This is our first episode of a new show we're starting here at Carrot Guys called Behind the Deal. I'm your host, Trevor Mock, CEO of Carrot. I've got my friend Beau Hollis today, which you guys will be able to meet Beau in more detail later if you haven't. But Beau, what's up, dude? How's your Thursday going?
Oh man, it's a fantastic day. It's a fantastic day. No complaints on this side.
Dude, I always love, I know you and I have talked a lot, but I always love the energy that you put off, the smile that you've got. Like you can see it right now. If you guys are just listening to the podcast version, just go to the YouTube version. There's like it's a big deal to me, the energy people put off because number one, you're attracted to people that give energy. You actually go away from people who take energy away from you. And dude, I just want to give you kudos and keep being that guy because it's life-giving. So I love it, man.
Awesome, man. Thanks for even having me on. I really appreciate this.
Of course. So I've got over here next to me as well, Brady, Brady, what do we call you, man? Like, what are we calling you officially on Behind the Deal?
I don't know. I get that question from everybody on the team. We'll call it producer.
Sweet. So Brady's the producer of Behind the Deal, and it's echoing a little bit when we're unmuted there. We'll get the tech part of this figured out, guys. It's the first episode. So Brady's going to be here with us during Behind the Deal here, and he's going to help us make sure we're putting the right things on the screen, kind of help us back and forth. If there's questions that are coming in, we'll answer questions. And we got Braden on my team, the two Brady and Braden, the crew, the double B squared. They're running the whole setup here. So what we're going to do today, guys, is it's the first episode, like I said, and we're going to be playing a video first. We might kind of break down the video a little bit. But I want to anyone who's hopping on here live, pop a comment in the comments box. Let me and Beau know that you're here. If you're listening to the recorded version of this, go to facebook.com /Behind the Deal, or go to Carrot and find the Behind the Deal episodes every other week on Thursdays. Starting today, we're going to do a live episode where you can interact and engage with us. But if you listen to it on YouTube or podcast, it's just fine as well. You're going to hear some amazing stuff. But there's a deal that you closed recently, Beau, and I want to kind of set the stage for it. And